All right, so I went and retrieved our K-frame that we blasted and reinforced and restored basically. Now this one came from a 75 Dart Swinger, so this is the 73 through 76 A-body K-frame. It's different than what would have came on this car originally. 72, the early style, the 72 in back had like a biscuit style motor mount, where these are the spool style. See how they have the notch? That's for the bolt to lay in all the way across. And then you have the motor mount on the engine that kind of sets in here. It has an isolator in it. And then they have these folded tabs right here. And there's a large washer on each side of that bolt that once you tighten it, cinch it all down, those washers set in there and that retains it. So if the boat ever wants to hop, if you have it all the way down like you're supposed to, it's not going to go anywhere. It might bounce around inside a worn out or rotted motor mount isolator, but it won't want to hop out of there and stick your throttle and all that. So it's a much safer alternative, and then you have a little bit more isolation with the rubber on that spool mount. So this is the spool mount size. So if you see this on any car, whether the car had it originally or not, it's always going to be like 73 and up. It's B-body, E-body. Well, no, E-body was different. E-body retained the biscuit mounts. My 74 Challenger had the biscuit mounts, which was kind of odd, but I guess they just didn't want to upgrade all that. All right, so I have a space heater on this little pocket area. We cleaned them up, sanded it, degreased it. Actually took some primer, epoxy primer, and I had a very little bit left in the can, so I mixed the right amount in it, 50-50, and then took a brush and simply brushed it in there, kind of light, and then took our green paint, our F3 green, and touched it up with that. Did that on both sides and also did it up from the front. It's actually drying really good up here already, and just touched it up enough to get it all together. Actually, all the rust, it was just surface rust that cleaned up really well. Here's the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just get the K-frame kind of set up in there. We have the bolts and all that ready. We have the K-frame ready. I actually just put a little bit of anti-seize here just to give it, you know, a little bit of a kind of a seal, I guess you could say, for when it's up in there for moisture. And we have the anti-seize on our K-frame bolts, so those will be ready. As far as the leaf springs, they'll go in after the K. I got them laying down there, ready to rock. And we'll just wait on this area to dry to slip those up in there. Just run the, gotta put these guys here in the holes, run the nuts on there, and then try to get the rear section up where it belongs there. Both sides that way. And we'll torque those down shortly. Alright, so I've got two of the nuts that go on here. I'll put some thread sealant on those. I'm just going to worry about two of them right now, so that way we get them anchored, and then we can worry about getting the rest of that on. So, here we go. I'm going to do this driver's side first. The other side, I still got the heater on that one. Make sure I got everything handy. This is always fun when they're this high off the ground, right? Ooh. So something like that. I'll put one in the bottom one on either side, and then the next one I'll just put opposite of it on the top, like so. Just get it on enough to won't strip the thread if you need to finagle it around a little bit. So it's on there pretty good. I'm just gonna let it drop. And then the spring will swivel. And then you give yourself a minute and then come back to it and tighten them down and then get the other two on there. Okay, I'm going to have to talk a little louder. I have a little salamander torpedo heater going on, so apologize for that. But I'm cold, okay? We're another day into it. It's early in the morning, so that's why the heat's on for one thing. It's just not warm enough yet. And what we got here, I went down to the hardware store, bought a new wire wheel, and it's, you know, the stem of it's only about this long. I had to kind of jam it into this flexible fitting, which I found a long time ago, and I've never been able to use it on anything until now. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean out this rear axle because I had media blasted it. So there's residue inside of it, and when you go to put your gear oil in, you don't want to get all like getting up in your gears and grinding it to death. So I got this and I got that, and we're going to take some time and go through it, the tubes each end, and go through the actual pumpkin area and just clean it up really good. We want to do it dry first to knock out anything that's especially loose or in little nooks and crannies, and really go to this on the final cleanup. I don't want to just spray it in there and go to town on it because a lot of that's going to cake back up and it won't come out. So we're going to try to knock it out, turn it into dust, and then when we feel like we're really clean it good, then you go through this and spray it down and let it drain out. I'll show you what the inside of the tubes look like, okay? So here's our rear. Our flashlight on our phone. And you kind of see in there. Now, the weld you see around there is just a reinforcement right here, okay? I was able to get the nozzle in there and go around it again because there's a couple blank spots in there, and that's where we did our splice, I guess you could say, where we narrowed it. I did that on both sides, and so it's not going to obstruct anything, but that's where this really comes in good here. We can just get it all the way in there, and you can see how deep it goes. You figure your chuck on your drill is going to go about to there, maybe a little bit further, and you're all the way in. So you flip the whole rear to where you can get on the inside, and you go in there and do it, and it's on a flex, so it's a win-win. So let's get to work.
Pension buyout as a company works your retirement options. Log on now to the process of ZR Water. Windows, bathrooms, and kitchens. They're about improving lives, one family at a time.
Okay, now there's something else I'm working on, and concerns the rear axle. See this little piece of pipe right here? All right, it's got the threads. Get them in any size. I happen to get this size because it's easier to need to drill through. Okay, and then we have a little reamer. Okay, so the reason that we need to use that on this, we may not need to, but it's a matter of just being a little picky about quality. And when you get your springs, a lot of times this pin here, which holds the whole spring pack together, there's a nut down here, and this is just a top piece here. Sometimes there's a cap that can come off. I don't know which one this is. I know it's metal. So when you take your axle or your differential here, it should set on that hole right here where my pinky is. Okay, that hole needs to set right on top of this. And it should be I wouldn't say snug, but it should fit it, okay? The thing is with these are aftermarket ones that are based on the originals. The hole is a little large, and some of them, these are Mopar Performance, but some of the aftermarket ones, the hole is huge. I mean, it's like an inch, and you have a lot of play. So if you have the tube back a little bit here and up there, it's a little bit forward, or vice versa, you might have like an alignment issue, and then you might have ultimately like a little problem going down the road, okay, or even down the track or something. So I would prefer to have that kind of just a nice fit where it slips down over it and there's not a lot of play in it. Right now, if I put this over top of it, let's see, right here, it has that much possible movement, okay? Now let me show you what we got with this pipe. Now, depending on maybe the spring pack you have, or the the little bolt there, the fitting, you may not need to drill it out like I had to. But I drilled this out and used the reamer so that this sits down over in there. It kind of clicks. Okay, so that'll be nice and snug, and it has a little bit of a pull to get it off, like that. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I did both sides this way. Went all the way through this pipe actually, and then took some sandpaper and sanded the paint that was off on here, okay? So I'd rather put some piece of grease on there, or a piece of grease, just put a little grease on there, slip down on it and prevent any issues. And then also, before I put these on, welded them onto the tubes, I actually ran a tap on that hole. So all I have to do is cut maybe 3/8 of an inch of this off, and then simply thread into that hole. And then all I have to do is slip it over. It'll click right down on it. Both sides will be that way, and we'll be good to go. And I slipped the rear back in here for a test fit. And you know how it was rattling back and forth earlier? It is snug as a bug. You can't really see it, it's so dark there, but both sides are not shifting. The only shifter would be up and down, and that's where they'll ultimately get these guys and get the plates. Sorry, that way. And that'll be it there. So happy with that. And they have a little bit of a taper on that pipe, so they're not going to work their way up and off. It's kind of a friction fit as it tightens, you know, MPT kind of pipe situation. The threads kind of narrow on the top and wide at the bottom, so that's the same situation there. So it ain't going to go nowhere. It's already threaded in there. We're good to go. So we get our RTV out, or gasket maker, and whatever we're calling it these days. You hear the rain out. It's pretty chilly, but I think it'll be all right. I believe I want to put this on the housing first, which is in the car. And obviously they it's got a side to it. You know, these are not symmetrical. So I want to put it on the housing first because the studs are on the housing, going to be more stable there. Whereas if I put it on here, it might slide around, it might catch on the studs and then pull it off, and all that stuff. So you just got to figure out which side goes against the housing, and then glue it on that side. We'll get in there and slip it on, and then get ready to wrestle this hog head in there, and we're getting on the home stretch at the back end. So.
All right, so the gasket's gotta go on. Glued it up. You get that on, then we're gonna have to put some on this side. So it'll be ready for the third member. Kinda stick it on there a little bit. You have to be in and out of here a couple of times. It's a little easier to do it when it's on the housing. It just looks harder because we're laying in a weird spot. I'm going to put the center section, third member, in just like this. How they do on roadkill, which roadkill has unfortunately gotten canceled. Not by anything it's done, it's the network that it was a part of, I guess went bankrupt or something. Which is unfortunate because we'll be left with a lot of those other stupid shows that they put on TV. I guess you'll have to come to YouTube then and find all the good ones. I'm just getting the little areas between the stud and the opening so that there's seal there. One more little spot here and we should be good. And there we have it. So to me, this is a little bit of a rite of passage in the Mopar world. Whoops. I have to touch that up. It's not high enough to come in from here, but we'll make it work. I got enough room to suck in a little bit. I thought about putting it in the housing and then wrestling over on top of the springs, but I think I just figure we need to do it this way. Right there. Line the studs up. Look at that. A little awkward at first getting going. I'll put this one up here actually. Now I just got enough of these nuts to just get it anchored. I'm going to put one on the top, and obviously, you know, the way the weight is here, the snout, obviously snout down. It's only going to fit one way though. Well, I'll just put both at the top because of that, because of the weight distribution. And make sure you don't let go of it and it knocks all your teeth out or something like that. So we'll have to get this wrench on that. But we got the hard part done.